You really know that God is real. My name is Kevin Crow. I'm an atheist in the Bible Belt. If you're new around here, welcome. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a damn know-it-all, and especially when I'm engaged in a conversation with one. A good example of a know-it-all is an interlocutor who is a theist and tells me that I really know that God is real, that all atheists do. You know why? Because it's in the Bible. Let's look at some of the most commonly cited verses in the Bible that Christians use against atheists to tell us that we really believe, that we know in our heart that God is real, and we're just in a state of denial. First up, we have Romans 1:18. The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of people who suppress the truth by their wickedness. Since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power, and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that the people are without excuse. There it is. It's right there in the Bible, right there in Romans 1:18. His eternal power and his divine nature are clearly seen, and you ain't got no excuse, boy. The next verse that they like to cite is 1 John 2:19. They went out from us, but they did not really belong to us. For if they had belonged to us, they would have remained with us. But their going showed that none of them belonged to us. And the last verse is not so much one of saying that we really know that God exists. It's more of saying, you're stupid if you don't believe. And that verse is Psalm 14:1. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. Their deeds are vile. There is no one who does good. The problem here is that they're taking the Bible, which I do not believe to be the divinely inspired word of God, and they're saying, see, it says right here in the Bible that you really believe. Okay. Now, I think if I were going to write a book that makes claims like the Bible does, I would say things like this. If people don't believe it, then they just don't know the truth. If they do believe it for a while, and then they come to realize that it's actually not the truth, and they leave their faith, they were never really Christians to begin with. See how easy that is? Let's flip it a little bit. If I were to come up with the book of atheism, and in the book of atheism it says, anyone who used to be a non-believer and then finds faith in a religion was never truly a non-believer. So no one can truly say, if they're a Christian now, that they ever didn't believe, that they ever doubted their faith. I'm going to put that in the book of atheism. And every time a Christian says, I used to be a non-believer, I used to be an atheist, I'll say, nope, it says right here in my book that you always believed, that you were never really one of us. So you can't relate to us at all. See how that works? Having a conversation with me and saying, you really know that God is real, it's just getting off on the wrong foot completely, because telling somebody else what they think, telling somebody else what they believe is never the move. You're completely discrediting the person that you're trying to have a conversation with, and they're not going to respect you. They're not going to respect anything that you have to say if you come in assuming their position, or even worse, telling them what their own position is. You really believe in God, boy? Says so right in the Bible. Yeah, well, the Bible also says that donkeys and snakes talked. The Bible also says that a dude lived in a whale's belly, or big fish, however you choose to translate it, for 3 days and was fine. The Bible also says that 2 of every animal boarded a giant-ass boat in the Middle East. Forgive me if I'm a little skeptical of what the Bible has to say. Even if you think that atheists all know that God is real, what's the point of saying that? All it's going to do is discourage future conversation from taking place. So let's maybe think about erasing that statement from conversation, can we? Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/JesusUnfollower. And remember, you don't need a God to be good.